Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap. So in today's session, we are going to do a very interesting and important topic, that is demographic transitions and the demographic dividend. So we will understand that what is the meaning of this, and this is very important from the exam point of view, and why this is very important, that we will see in the coming slides. So now before starting with the session, please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you are new to the channel, and join our Telegram channel for the PDF of the session. And you can get the link of the Telegram channel in the description box below. So here you can see that why this topic is very important, because a direct question has been asked in the NABARD grade A in 2018, that is, which of the following is the second stage in the theory of demographic transition, which you will easily be able to answer by the end of the session. As well as in NABARD grade A 2020, the question about the according to which of the following concepts the stable high fertility and high mortality population is transferred or converted to low fertility and low mortality population. This also is very easy once you understand the theory. Okay. So as well as in RBI grade B 2021, a question related to the demography, that role of demography in India's economic transition, that was of 10 marks. So you can understand that how important the topic of demography is. So now starting with what is demography? What is the meaning of demography? So as cartography means the study of the maps, we can say that demography means that the quantitative study of the human population. We are trying to study the human population, that what is the size of human population, what is the structure of human population, the literacy rate, the sex ratio, the movement of the people. Okay, that is, we are trying to study about the human population. That is, demography is the quantitative study of the human population, the births, the aging, the deaths, the migration that is happening. So we are trying to study the human population under the demography. So now I hope you have understood the meaning of demography. We can see the size of the world population. We can see the size of the population in the world. This shows the growth rate, that till 1965 the growth rate of the population was very high in the world. After that, slowly and slowly the growth rate has started showing a decline, and we can see that by 2100 it is said that the growth rate of the population will be very low. So the growth rate is declining. That doesn't mean that in the absolute terms also the population is declining. No, in the absolute terms the population is increasing. In 1700 the population was 600 million. In 2019 we saw that the population was 7.7 billion, and by 2100 we are expecting that the population will go to 10.9 billion. So in absolute terms the population will grow in the world, but the growth rate has shown a declining trend. So we can say after the 2000s the growth rate of the population in the world has continuously declined. Okay, that is a good sign, because our globe cannot handle too much of the population. So at least the growth rate is declining in the world. Okay, now we can go to the growth of population. We have seen that the size is too huge of the population, but the growth rate is declining. So if we talk about India, the population explosion is happening. In absolute terms we are growing too much. We are too large a country now according to the population. So what will happen to India? Will India be able to handle this kind of situation? Will the population keep on growing like this? So this theory, that is the theory of demographic transition, tells us that what will happen to India, what happened to the previous economies that have now developed, and what will happen to India. So all the economies, or most of the economies, start with the first stage where they are undeveloped. In this situation what happens, there is high birth rate and high death rate. That is, too many babies are being born, as well as too many deaths are happening because of the epidemic, we can say, because of lack of health facilities, we can say. So there is high death rate as well as high birth rate, because people do not have much awareness. They do not know that we have limited resources and all. So the birth rate is also high because of the mindset of the people. And death rate is high because we do not have much we do not have much technology, we do not have the health resources and everything. So first stage, the country is undeveloped, birth rate is high, death rate is high. Due to that, the stagnant population is there, stationary population is there. It is not either growing much, not either growing less. Okay. In the second condition, what happens in the second stage, the country starts developing. In this situation, the population explosion happens. The population starts growing too much because the birth rate is too high and the death rate is low. The death rate is low. In this situation, we have developed, starting to develop, and the technology is coming to us, the technological advancement is happening, the health sector is becoming better, the technological advancement is helping to save the lives of the people, the epidemic is reducing and everything. So the death rate is low, but the birth rate is hard to reduce. Why? Because birth rate depends on the mindset of the people. The people says that more children, more helping hands, more earning hands, we can say. So that kind of mindset has to be nullified, it has to be reduced, or that will happen when we literate the people, when we spread the literacy in the country, when we make the people more knowledgeable, when we educate the people. And that is a little hard to do, because it relates to changing the mindset of the people, that we have limited resources and we should use the resources to a few children only. Okay, we should use the resources by having a few children only, so that we can make the children a better human capital in the future. Okay, so the birth rate is hard to reduce, and that's why for some period it stays at the same level, and it drops down very slowly, because it is hard to change the mindset of most of the people. So it is stagnant for some of the period, and after that it starts slowing down very slowly. When people become more educated, when people become more literate and more knowledgeable, then it starts to go down. In the third stage, the country has reached to the developed position where the birth rate is low. People have become educated, people have become literate, they know that they have limited resources, they should use those resources very wisely, they know that. And as well as death rate is of course low, because the health facilities are better, because the technology is better now. So I hope you have understood the three stages and what are the conditions in the three stages, and India is currently in this stage. The death rate is very low, and the birth rate is high, but the birth rate has started slowing down. The birth rate has started slowing down, due to which the growth rate of the population of our country has also started slowing down. Why I am saying that, I will give you the brief of that also. So in 1901 to 1921, the period of stagnant or stationary phase of India. This is the stagnant phase of India, in which the growth was not happening of the population. That means much growth was not there. Birth rate was high, death rate was high. Stagnant or stationary phase means birth rate is high, death rate is high. After that, in 1921, 1951, what happened, that steady population growth started. Here the population is stagnant, but here the population growth started, because the death rate started going low, because the epidemics were controlled. The progressive control was done on the epidemics, so the death rate started lowering a little, but the birth rate was still very high. In the next phase, in the 1951 to 1981, population explosion happened. Death rate dropped very low, while birth rate was still very high. Birth rate was still high, death rate dropped low, because epidemics were controlled here, because the sharper decline in the death rates happened after the independence. After the independence, we tried to make our health facilities better, due to which death rate further went down and birth rate was still very high. So that's why the population explosion happened. In 1981-2011, that is in the current period, the period of high growth, we can see that after the population explosion, the high growth of the population was still there, but definite signs are there of the slowing down of the growth rate of the population. That is what, that in the starting period there was stagnant, not much growth. 0.03 was the growth, that it was stagnant or stationary. After that, 1.4, 0.4, 1.3, 1.25. So it was slowly the population was growing, steady growth of the population. After that, population explosion happened. From the 1.25% of the annual growth, we reached to the 1.96 directly, a hike of 7 points, we can say. So directly we reached to a very high rate than 2.2, 2.20. So it was a population explosion. But in the current period, in the period of this, we saw that there were definite signs of slowing down. From 2.20 we came to 2.14, 1.95. So there are definite signs that we are slowing down in the population. Yes, in absolute numbers we are doing too much. 300, 400, 500, 600, 800, 10, 1000, 1200. Yes, in absolute numbers we are growing too much, but in the growth terms we can say we have started slowing down what happened in the world one. Okay, that is world also showed na that the world growth rate is slowing down, world population growth rate. Similarly, India is also showing definite signs of slowing down. Now we have understood the size of the population. Now we can come to the age structure of India. That is, see, 0 to 14, these are the dependents that depend on the elders, and these are also dependents that depends on the working population, and this is our working population. You can see that by 2026 it is expected that 64% of our country, of our whole population, will be the working age population, and that is what we call the demographic dividend. That is mainly when the share of the working age population is larger than the non-working age share. That is the dependence. If the working age population is larger than the dependence, then we can say we have demographic dividend. We have more people that can push the growth of our country, that can push the country into a larger output and larger income. Okay, we have the demographic dividend. That is, according to UNFPA, demographic dividend means the economic growth potential that can result from shifts in the population age structure. So our age structure is like that the dependents are less and the working age population is more, and we just need to use that working age population for the growth of that country. We have the potential, we just need to use it properly. So now these, I hope that you can easily answer these two questions, and these are the homework questions for you. So these were the people that gave the right answer of the previous session question, that is Arvind and Nadeem. So if you have any query, you can mail us here or you can contact us through this number. Thank you very much.